Hi, my name is Christina Lundy, and I am an educator at the Marin County Office of Education. Today I'm going to share a story with you called Soft Child, How a Rattlesnake Got Its Fangs. And it's a Native American folktale retold by Joe Hayes, but originated through the Tohono people who can be found in the southwestern part of the United States. And in this story today, we're going to be focusing on when and how do you interact with the earth? How do you observe what's around you? How do you notice things? How do you deepen your understanding of how an animal might function? So we do that through our observation skills, how we see, how we hear, how we touch, how we feel, and how we smell things around us in our environment. And the environment that we're going to be focusing on today is in the desert. So each of the animals get this opportunity to really think about their structure of their bodies and what function they want it to have. So we're going to be looking at structure and function. And one of the animals that we're going to hear about today is the rabbit. So I want you to notice the rabbit. What do you notice about the rabbit's ears? They're really big and they're really tall. So their structure is big and tall. So their function, it makes me think and wonder, does it have the purpose of being able to hear things or collect sound? If I was to study how the ears of a rabbit works, would it help me to see how they're able to hear or pull sound waves? That's a question I have. So in today's story, we'll be learning about how the snake gets his fangs. And the rabbit has a role in this, so keep the rabbit in mind. But again, I want you to really be thinking about how do you interact with the earth around you, and what do you do to observe these things in your environment? You're really thinking about structure and function, how things are shaped and their function that they have. So the story is called Soft Child, How a Rattlesnake Got Its Fangs. So a long time ago, they say the sky, God made all the animals from the sands and the clay of the desert. When he had finished, he called the animals together. Each animal may ask for a way to protect itself. The sky god told the animals, I will give it to you. Mountain lion roared, give me sharp claws and teeth. And the mountain lion received sharp claws and teeth. Skunk muttered, make me smell terrible. They'll leave me alone. And skunk smells terrible. Jackrabbit wanted long legs so that he could run fast and escape his enemies. Coyote wanted to be clever so he could trick the other animals. Everyone knows what Porcupine wanted. I'm thinking here, what other animals are going to be mentioned? And I'm wondering now, as I know these things about animals, what are their structures that they have? And what are their functions? Do you have some animals in mind that you're thinking of? What are their functions that their structures have? But there was one animal, a very gentle little snake, who said, I'm only worried that someone might step on me as I go along on my belly on the ground. Can you give me a way to let other animals know I'm down there? Then they won't step on me. What's he going to do? What will he get? And so the sky god put a rattle on at the end of the snake's tail. Now he could make a noise so other animals know when he's around. But it didn't take the other animals long to find out that even though the snake could make a noise with his tail, he was perfectly harmless. He couldn't hurt them in any way. In fact, He was so gentle, they all called him Soft Child, and they would pick on him just to make his rattle, his tail rattle. So Jackrabbit and Skunk were the worst. Skunk would throw Soft Child into the air. Jackrabbit would wait until he came down and then kick him back up in the air again. They would laugh and laugh as Soft Child rattled his tail. That makes me stop and think now. So he got the rattle, which is able to shake. What do you think the rattlesnake is seeking now? What does he want? What structure could the rattlesnake get that would provide a function to stop this? Let's see if your ideas are in the story. Once there was a big ceremonial. All the animals gathered for a day of dancing, and Jackrabbit and Skunk were especially cruel to Soft Child that day. Over and over they kicked and tossed him into the air. But the Sky God was looking down on the dancing. He saw what was going on. That evening he came down and talked to Soft Child. "Let's go walking in the desert," he said. "I'll give you something." I'm wondering, what's he going to give him? They walked along until they came to a devil's claw plant. The Sky God broke the 2 sharp curved points from a devil's claw and then told Soft Child, "Open your mouth." He put those sharp points in the snake's mouth. Then he touched each point with a bolt of lightning. "Now you have 2 poison fangs you can bite with," the Sky God told Soft Child. "Your bite will be the most deadly of all, but you must promise that you'll only use your fangs to protect yourself, and whenever you can, you'll rattle your tail to warn other animals before you bite them." Soft Child gave his promise. The next day, Soft Child was moving along through the desert, minding his own business, when Jackrabbit happened to see him. Jackrabbit said to Skunk, "Come on, let's tease Soft Child some more." Skunk said, "No, we teased him a lot yesterday. Let's leave him alone." But Jackrabbit wouldn't be satisfied until he had picked on Soft Child. He ran over and kicked the snake with his hind leg. Soft Child rattled his tail. Jackrabbit laughed and threw Soft Child into the air. The snake landed hard on the dirt. Soft Child rattled louder, but Jackrabbit just laughed louder. He threw the snake again and again. But when Jackrabbit threw him 4th time, Soft Child wouldn't take it anymore. He turned on Jackrabbit and bit him with his new fangs. All the animals were surprised to see Soft Child bite. He had never done that before. But when Jackrabbit fell to the sand and quivered all over and then lay perfectly still, they said among themselves, "Stay away from Soft Child. He is deadly. He has poison fangs he'll bite you with." So ever since that day, the other animals have been afraid of the rattlesnake. But the truth is, Soft Child was given his fangs to protect himself. And whenever he can, he will rattle his tail to give a warning before he bites. And the people who tell this story know that. And they tell the others they are frightened of rattlesnakes. Don't be afraid. Every creature has a place in this desert world. Just stay away from Soft Child. He won't bother you if you don't bother him. So it makes me go back to asking the question, how can we observe these structures and functions of the natural world around us? And how do we use that information? And how do we explain that to others? The Tohono people chose this story to tell the structure and function of the rattlesnake.